Glory be to God in the highest. Revelation about stones. Our weapon of victory. Revelation about stone. Part 1. Our weapon of victory. Permit me to read 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 40 and 49 to you. Permit me to read. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 small stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag which he had even in his crib. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. Verse 49. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead. Then that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. This is a very familiar story. David and Goliath. Children of God nowadays, we are looking for victory all around. If I ask people why do you pray, they say we are looking for victory over the battles of life, over the challenges of life. They are looking for victory over one circumstances that is not in their favor or the other. And let's see the battle that David fought against Goliath and how it turns out. So Saul was a king, he has an armor. So when David decided that he wants to go and fight Goliath, Saul offered his armor to David. And when David tried it, it's too heavy on him. Very, very heavy on him. A young boy with a very big armor. So Saul recommended his armor unto David. But David proved it and it's too heavy for him. Do you know nowadays, most of us, we want to face the battles of life, the challenges of life, the war system, the darkness, the rulers of darkness with armor that is heavier than us. If you carry armor that is heavier than you, you are already defeated before the battle starts. And David realized this. Now, how do I put on an armor that is too heavier for me before the battle? Many of us, through our ignorance, we go around, even when we don't know Christ, bringing in armor that is too heavier for us. And in that wise, before the battle starts, we are already defeated. Many of us at the back of this, that's when we come to Christ. When we try this thing, we try the herbalists, we try so many things, so many gymnastics to overcome the battles of this world, to overcome the power of darkness, to overcome the power from our background, to overcome causes, to overturn situations. We put on armor that are too heavier for us and we cannot move on. Though many are still putting on the armor today, if you are part of those persons, I will advise you, put off those armor. So David realized, he put off the armor and he chose 5 stones and he put it in a sling and he went to go and meet Goliath. And in that verse 49, without missing words, it's only the stone that he threw and the stone sunk into the head of Goliath. That is incredible. That is very, very incredible. Look at the soldiers that we have now. Let's start from the rider and our engineer. The helmet they put in their head. Hardly can you see a very light stone will penetrate to the forehead and will enter into the head and that person will die. That's incredible. Not to talk of the soldier's helmet, the army's helmet. And if you look at the weapon, the armor of Goliath is a brass helmet. It's very strong. Even at most, the stone just supposed to break the helmet and fall down. But there is a power, there is propelling power in that stone. So if you are an interviewer, if you interview David after his battle, his victory against Goliath, that what do you use to overcome Goliath? And he told you that it was just by a stone. I know you will doubt it. I know you will not believe it. You will tell David to tell you another story. And that is what we are doing today. The stones that David used implies our faith. Now, we are looking for every other means because we doubt the effectiveness of our faith in Christ Jesus. 1 John chapter 5 verse 4. He said, whoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. So the only armor that you need to overcome whatever in your terms that you call the world. There are so many things that has to do with the world. The power of darkness, the seat where evil is being perpetrated. Number 2, where the systems that goes against the will of God. So for any of us to overcome the world, it is through our faith. It looks incredible, but faith in Jesus brought us total victory. So as it is difficult to believe that ordinary stones could bring down a almost more than 6 feet Goliath with a brass helmet on his head, likewise you and most other people find it to believe that with our faith we can overcome the enormous challenges, enormous battle, enormous war that the spiritual powers, the power of darkness, the seat of darkness are waging against us. So I want to tell you now that you don't need any other thing apart from faith. The stone that David used, it does not mix it with anything. It does not color it. Did you hear him pray on those stones? No! I'm not saying that you will not pray. But even your prayer without faith is useless. It's of no effect. So faith is our weapon. Faith is our weapon. So victory is achieved through faith and only faith in Jesus. So stones typifies our faith. As it is impossible to you look like incredible that a stone will bring out Goliath. That's how faith looks like. So you have to move from the side of doubting the power of faith, like you would doubt stones bringing down Goliath, and come into faith in Jesus. And I want to assure you, victory is sure for you. It has been proven and is still working. Revelation about stones, episode 1, that is it. Part 2 is coming. God bless you. Yeah.